Hi, gang. I am Sammy Mida. I am the drummer for the Centerville All Stars, and I'm here at the Escape Pod. One of the few times that I've actually been in the Escape Pod in about a year and a half. It has been a very, very rough time for the boys. And when I say that, I mean it very sincerely. Centerville is like family, and they are family. Um, it's been very hard for us to accept that George is no longer with us. And so salute to George, But what I want to talk to you about is that, I guarantee you, what's going on with the band. I can't tell you that. I wish I could, but I can't. I will say that we have talked about this, and certain things we've discussed, and it's been hard. But I'll tell you, it's been very, very difficult. I was asked to join the band about 6 years ago, and I never thought in a million years I would ever join the Centerville All Stars. Ever. They're the Rolling Stones of Minnesota. And not only that, they're my friends. I've known them for 40 years, but I never thought I'd ever join their band. And that's been, hard to swallow. So I think I've told you a story where George called me at my house, not in the escape pod, but in the house. He says, "Hey man, what are you doing tomorrow night, or next weekend, or whatever?" And, "Oh, nothing." He goes, "How would you like to play the Centerville?" I was like, "Cool. Yeah, I can. You need Friday or Saturday night?" "No, man, forever." I went, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we want you to be our traveling drummer." He says, "Let me think about that." Yes. You don't say no to an offer like that, so you do it. And so I did it. And I will tell you this. I'm talking to you all as fans and family and friends. It has been the greatest ride I think I've ever been on. I mean, I can't say enough. You can watch the video that Jeff and I did, but this is a supplement, Captain's Log supplement. It has been so hard on the boys that that's the reason why we've all been pretty quiet. It's been tough. We aren't going to do anything until the family decides what they want to do. People have asked us about tribute shows and things like that, and I'm like, until the family decides what they do, we aren't doing a damn thing. And I can stand for that. I will tell you that. That's an official thing. When it does happen, and it will happen, It'll probably be one of the biggest events you've probably ever seen, but that remains to be seen. I will say this: George was one of the kindest individuals in music I've ever known. I've known him for 40 years, since I was a kid. And it's hard to lose somebody like that, of that caliber. But it wasn't, it wasn't his greatness, on the stage. It's the way he presented himself. George was such a nice guy. Johnny Z, his brother, and I, and George, we would go watch baseball in Cloquet when I lived in Cloquet, just to go watch baseball and hang out. And people are like, "Aren't you guys part of the Sentinels?" Yeah, whatever. Hey, are they up? They were the nicest guys ever, and that's the kind of lunchbox stuff. And that's the way Centerville carries themselves, and that's the way George was. And a lot of people don't really know that is the way George was. He was a very, very compassionate, kind man, and I'm sure gonna miss him. I know a lot of people are gonna miss him, but I wanted to add a supplement to that. It's like I can't believe these guys asked me to join their band. I was so humbled, to join the Centerville All Stars. It was hard. It's hard to let go of that. And the other day we had a meeting, and I can't tell you more about that, but to be a member of the Centerville All Stars and play with these guys and commit to. People think, the public thinks like we're gods or something. No. All we ever wanted to do was make you happy. That was it. We just wanted to make you happy. In the band, we're all friends. We just wanted to make you happy. That's it. And if we could do that, puts a smile on our face, we did our job. And I'm sure George put a smile on a lot of people's faces. I know it's a bit emotional for you guys to watch, but I played with George in a couple different acts, the Circuit Breakers and Wildwood, and of course, lately the Centerville All Stars. But George was always the same in every band too. He was the same man. He never wavered. He was always the same person, and contributed everything. There's not a lot of people I can tell in my career, and I'm not tooting my horn, but I've played 45 years, professionally and unprofessionally, and I've known a lot of cats. A lot of cats. But I've never met anybody like George. No one. He was the Eric Clapton / Eddie Van Halen of Minnesota. And you'll never see anything like it ever again. is the reason for this is that kids don't play music anymore. Like we all, well, I didn't say we all did, but most people did. Garage bands and stuff. And so you don't get kids. Kids play video games now. They don't grow up playing in garage bands. I grew up playing in garage bands. And I learned to, okay, that garage band's good, that garage band's good, that garage band. And then you just, this one's better than that one better than that one, then you just kind of, you modulate and it gets better and better and better. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, cool, now you got a new band, That's the way it was. Nowadays it's like, cool, I got, I'm playing Commando 3, whatever. So, if that's their thing, that's their thing now. But it took talent back in the day. You had to learn it. You had to, play it. And George and I talked about this a lot. It's like, yeah, you don't have that anymore. You don't have the A, B, C bands like we used to talk about. The C bands got a... This is the funny thing. The C band, A, B, C bands. C band got a pitcher of beer or a pitcher of root beer and a pizza. That's what you got paid. Those were the kids that, thanks for playing. Glad you stopped out. B bands were the kids that were good enough that got paid and paid decently, something, and you still got a pitcher of beer and a pizza. A bands, they got top rate. And nowadays, there are no B and C bands. You're either top rate or you don't play at all. And that's a big difference. It's a huge difference in the music scene. And it's happened in the last 20 years. You don't see it anymore where, kids are playing. I mean, yeah, you do a little bit, but not to the extent where you're playing professionally. And, you're either good or you're not. And not only that, bars tend not to pay you shit unless you are good. And you better be good. Like, good. And I got paid fairly well in Centerville, But then again, they were the Centerville All-Stars. They earned it. We played out in Sturgis and all the venues we played, and it's great. I'm just so blessed to have been able to play with them. And I think that era is over. It's been a hell of a run. But I tell you what, those guys are all my brothers. All of them. Love them to death. I think the only one that's ever been here is actually John Hino in the escape pod. But yeah, having a cigar. But I was inviting him over for a steak fry, but yeah, it never happened. But Hino was the only one that ever was. John. Anyway, what I was trying to convey to you is that it's an end of an era. Whatever we decide to do next, it'll be made known, publicly, but it's been very difficult on us. Very, very difficult. So bear with us. Whatever the family decides, we'll follow with it. And then Centerville will certainly adjust But bear with us, and we'll. I'm certain we'll do something for George, along the caliber of Mickey Jackson and such. But that's to be later. Right now, we're all just thinking of him. We're all still in shock. All the boys, we're just like, I still can't believe he's gone. I can't believe he's gone. I still keep thinking on Friday, I'm going to get a phone call and say, hey, man, how's it going? No Van Halen tonight because my hand sucks. And like, well, my hand sucks too, so that's great because I can't play it tonight either. It's like, cool, see you tonight. Stuff like that. The intricacies that, that the public never knew about, those are things I'm going to miss. Guitar knob that goes up to 11. Not only does my guitar knob go to 11, so does the amp. And he had an amp that went to, stuff like that, What a character. I'm just trying to give an insight on the man I knew, the man I actually played with, and bandmate. I knew him a long time, played with him a long time before I even played with Centerville. Like I said, Spiff and I played with him in the Circuit Breakers, and we roomed together down in I don't know how many places, but I think one night we were watching MTV all night, MTV Classic, and we were sitting there till like 5 in the morning watching MTV Classic, and we're sitting there commenting like, "That's so horseshit. You should never played that." I mean, we're commenting on stuff, and how somebody looks over and is like, it's 5 in the morning, right? Like, oh God, So we slept for like an hour, went out to breakfast, and ironically, I think when we left for breakfast, George and I went to I can't remember where that was, but it was called Nick's Restaurant, and that's his brother's name. And so we laughed at that. It's like, it's Nick's Restaurant, So, all right, fine, yeah. Cool. And then, he went that way to Minneapolis, and I drove up north to Cloquet. That's where I was living at the time. But these are just some of the tales of the road that most people don't know, and you're not going to see on the video. And I thought I'd include them. I'll tell you what, I have never met a man like George Zizzos. Never. And I'm not talking about a musician. I've never met a man like him. He's my friend, my bandmate, and my brother. And it really hurts to have lost him. And this is just supplemental, of course, but I'm sorry to have lost him, and I'm sorry for the family, and I don't know how hard it is for them. It's got to be hard. Leanne was a beautiful soul. They offered me to stay at their place. Half the time I stayed at Coach's because it was closer, but they offered me to stay at their place, and when we were gigging on the road, and like I said, bands are family, and they're my family. So it hurts to lose your family. Anyway, gang, I want to sign off from the escape pod. I haven't been here in a while, so if you've never seen it, this is kind of it. But it's been been a wild ride. I've lost a lot of friends and family recently, let alone George, and it's been it hurts. It hurts bad. So, without further ado, um, I'm going to sign off from the escape pod, and I wish you all best wishes. Take care of your family. Take care of your loved ones. And because you never know. Because, we didn't know. But take care. Bye.